my third memory I remember having is drawing a bunny with my mom. It's always been that cathartic thing, you know. I don't remember why I started making art, but my mom used to show me how to draw stuff all the time. I remember that. She had like drawing methods, step by step, how to draw a bunny, you know. Yeah, first memory I remember is trying caramel on my apples. Second memory is putting on real underwear. My name is Ethan Heberer. I grew up in a town called Marthansville, Missouri, and as an occupation, I'm a barista, but I spent all my time making art. Yeah, this is like I used to take this to the beach when I lived in Los Angeles and would draw. As a kid, I used to make comic books because it was fun. I liked to make people laugh, you know, I thought I was funny. Yeah, it's always just been a source of entertainment one way or another. So different times in my life, it was like maybe more of a time occupying thing, but in the past 10 years of my life, it's been a real spiritual adventure, you know. So yeah, I think I make it for me first, but the second half, sharing it with people, is just as good. If somebody has to make stairs going to their apartment but they don't have any wood, you know, and then you see how they made stairs out of like stone or broken flower pots, or, you know, that sort of like human ingenuity, I think is always catches my attention. I've been skateboarding since I was, I think, like 8 years old. When I was like 18, 19, I had a pretty significant injury and a bunch of surgeries afterwards, so I haven't been able to be as reckless as I was like in high school. I made art all the time. I did, you know, I was like that kid in school who like made all the shirts for the clubs, and like, you know, I had like a little like senior spotlight thing like in the video newspaper or whatever about my art. So like that was always my thing, but it was just fun for me in high school, you know. What I really wanted to be in high school, I was like, I want to move to the coast and I want to be a professional skateboarder. That was like the two things I was determined to do. And I tore my ACL skating, and which is fine. But then, you know, subsequently I got a reconstruction, but I got an infection in my knee. So I don't think I could step back on a skateboard for 2 years. So that was when I was like, okay, well, the only other thing I spend my time doing that I can do immobily is draw. So that was when it became, and that's what I mean whenever I'm like, oh, I used to do it to like entertain people and I had fun doing it, you know. But after all that happened, that was when I was like, oh, I think that this like is going to save my life, you know. And that was when it turned into something totally different for me. I was right out of my undergraduate degree, and I kind of had like this personal mini meltdown, in a sense, to where I was just like, I had this idea of perfection in my head, and I was like chasing it, and I thought I could do it. And I remember I finished the work and I had my first solo show, and I hated it. Everything I made was a total letdown. I had so much anticipation behind all of it, and so much, I just wanted it to be perfect, you know? And if that's your idea, you're never going to get there. And so after I had that moment, you know, it really kind of like cut my whole perception of what my life is supposed to be right in half, like right in front of my eyes. And so that was when I started the shop, and the name Flowering Peace really just, for me, meant like, you know, always moving towards my own sense of tranquility through the work. My beautiful wife could attest to my mental state at that time. I was in a really bad place, man. It was weird. I mean, it's weird to have your whole utopia that you accidentally created in your brain just crumble right in front of you. It's a weird confluence of ego and ideology that just collided in the worst way. I thought about restarting, in a sense, to where I was just like, I realized I had kind of tricked myself in a way, mentally, you know, and it's all perception. It was just my perception of the whole thing. So, but I knew making work was the way out, you know. just because it's been that my whole life. I mean, at least where I'm at with my work now, I kind of hope to sort of let all that, I'm just trying to stay conscious of my life and let all that stuff kind of filter in subconsciously into the work, in a sense, to where like when I'm in the studio, it's not really so much, I'm not really trying to think of anything. I'm trying to sort of open the floodgates between my subconscious thinking and my conscious life, you know, and sort of let all that stuff mix together, you know. Yeah. The past couple of years, I've just been so fascinated by surprising myself, in the sense to where, like, you know, there's been times in my past where I made work that was like I was trying to be comforted by the things I was making, but the past few years, I just want to be surprised. I want something to show up in front of my face that I wasn't expecting, you know, to sort of make some sort of connection in my brain to life, to the object that I didn't see coming. And sometimes when all that stuff sort of comes together, it's like, I don't know, I can't describe it. It's like complete magic. Like, it feels like my head detaches from my body or something. And, you know, I'm just like, for that split second, it's like everything is fixed. I mean, I sell everything for really cheap for a reason. And it's not because I'm making any money off of it. Somebody buys it for 20 bucks on a whim, like, that's the best. Yeah, what else could you ask for? I don't even have 200 bucks to buy a painting if I wanted to, necessarily, you know? So I am trying to, like, give people a chance to have work in their house for the same price as buying a book. Sharing a piece of art with somebody is like a year-long conversation slammed into an object, you know, that you can give to somebody, and like, that's irreplaceable to me, you know. And it's not like I'm, you know, any financial or commercial success that I've had in art making this far, you know, even being 30 years old, is so tiny. But if I walk out of my studio and I feel stoked on whatever I just made, like, who cares? The other stuff doesn't matter. It'll happen or it won't happen, you know? Just, yeah, I would just tell myself to keep going, you know? Trouble. Herman, say hello. Yes, this is my son. Stinky breath, dude.